What if the most powerful response is no response at all? What if the best way to turn the tables isn't anger, revenge, or proving a point, but complete and total silence? Because the moment you stop reacting, the moment you refuse to chase, you become untouchable. See, when she walks away, when she leaves like you never mattered, she expects something from you. A reaction, a late-night text, a desperate call, a moment of weakness. That's what she's counting on. That's what every other guy does. But the man who does nothing, the man who simply vanishes, he becomes unforgettable. Silence is powerful. It forces the mind to question, to wonder, to overthink. Right now, she believes she knows you. She assumes you'll break, that it's only a matter of time before you come crawling back. But when the message never comes, when you don't fight for her, when you disappear completely, that's when the doubt sets in. Did I misjudge him? Did I actually mean so little to him? Is he already moving on? That's when the pain of losing you hits her like a storm, not because you begged, not because you proved a point, but because you didn't, because your silence is louder than words. A man who chases shows weakness. A man who walks away shows strength. And strength is what lingers. This isn't just about a breakup. This is about your transformation. The moment you stop seeking approval from others, you reclaim power over yourself. You're not trying to win her back. You're not trying to make her jealous. You're becoming the man you were always meant to be. And in that process, she loses far more than you ever did. Number 1. The breaking point. When she walks away, don't chase. You never thought it would end like this. Maybe there were signs, little shifts in the way she spoke to you, the way she looked at you. Maybe you ignored them, or maybe it happened in an instant. One moment, she was yours, and the next, she was a stranger. The pain, it's suffocating, a storm of confusion, anger, disbelief. Your mind keeps replaying the same tormenting question. Why? Why did she leave? Why wasn't I enough? Why does it feel like my whole world just collapsed? This is where most men break. This is where they scramble for answers, where they panic, where they beg. The desperate texts, the late-night calls, the emotional pleas for another chance. They don't realize the cruel truth. Every attempt to pull her back only pushes her further away. Because neediness is repulsive, it signals desperation, and desperation kills attraction. The harder you cling, the faster she runs. This moment, this crushing pain, is where your real test begins. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. Pain is just information. It is not your enemy. It is a wake-up call. Every great transformation begins with suffering. Think of the men you admire, the ones who built something unshakable. Do you think they were never broken? Never underestimated? Never left in the cold? They've been shattered before. They've been in your shoes, staring at the wreckage, feeling the sting of abandonment. But what separates the weak from the strong is how they respond. You have two choices: drown in self-pity or rise from the fire. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't explain yourself. You accept the pain, you embrace it, and then you let it forge you into something indestructible. This is not just about her leaving. This is about you becoming unshakable. So ask yourself, will you fall or will you rise? Number 2. The trap that destroys men. Why most fail right here. This is where the weak crumble. The moment she walks away, panic sets in. The fear of losing her, the fear of being alone, the fear that you'll never get another chance. It all rushes in at once. And in that fear, most men make the worst mistake of their lives. They act out of desperation, and desperation is the fastest way to kill respect. When she left, she wasn't expecting you to disappear. She was expecting a chase. She was expecting you to fight for her, to beg for another chance, to blow up her phone with long messages about how much she means to you. This is the trap, and most men walk straight into it. They start rationalizing, maybe if I just talk to her, she'll understand. Maybe if I remind her of the good times, she'll come back. Maybe if I show her how much I care, she'll see my worth. Wrong. This mindset reeks of weakness, because here's the brutal truth. She made up her mind before she left. The moment she decided to walk away, she had already convinced herself that you weren't worth staying for. She had planned her exit, and if you chase her now, all you're doing is proving her right. The moment you try to negotiate attraction, you lose. She doesn't want to be convinced. She doesn't want your explanations. And she definitely doesn't want to feel like she's doing you a favor by staying. She wants what she can't have. That's human nature. We chase what is scarce. We value what feels unattainable. The moment you become emotionally, mentally, and even physically abundant, you shift the dynamic. But if you beg, if you cling, if you try to remind her of what you had, she will see you as nothing more than an option. She's already outgrown. Number. That's not you. You are not an option. You are the loss she never saw coming. You are the silence that haunts her when she realizes you never reached out. Because nothing unsettles a person more than expecting a reaction and getting nothing. Number 3. The power shift. How to turn heartbreak into strength. This is the moment everything changes. The moment you stop seeing heartbreak as a curse and start using it as fuel. Pain is energy. It can either consume you or forge you into something unstoppable. The only difference, what you choose to do with it. Most men get trapped in the cycle, stalking her social media, watching her stories, searching for clues, obsessing over what she's doing, who she's with. They replay old memories like a broken record, letting the pain define them. But a man who understands power, he does something different. He channels the pain. He doesn't run from it. He doesn't numb it with distractions, meaningless rebounds, or endless nights drowning in regret. He faces it. Like fire hardens steel, he lets the pain sharpen him. Look in the mirror. This version of you, the one drowning in loss, the one questioning his worth, this is not the man you were born to be. This is only the beginning of something greater. But first, you must detach. Emotionally, mentally, physically. She is no longer your priority. You are. Your energy is no longer wasted on someone who walked away. It is redirected into building, into evolving, into becoming so powerful that her absence feels like a joke in comparison. You want to know when she'll start to regret. When she sees you glowing without her. When she realizes the man she left behind is not the man she'd get back. Because while she was busy moving on, you were busy becoming untouchable. This is the pivot. This is the turning point. This is where you rise. Number 4. The silent escape. Mastering disappearance as a weapon. Silence. It's not just a response. It's a weapon, a statement, a test of control. Because when a woman walks away, she expects one thing above all else. A reaction. She expects to see your pain, to hear from you, to feel your desperation through a late-night text, a let's talk message, a lingering look at her stories. That's what she's prepared for. That's what every other man does. But the moment you do nothing, the moment you don't text, don't check her updates, don't even acknowledge her existence, it disrupts her entire reality. Suddenly, she has no proof that you're hurting, no confirmation that she still holds power over you, and that uncertainty, it eats away at her. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he over me already? Did I make a mistake? Silence is psychological warfare. It forces her to fill in the blanks. And here's the thing, the human mind always assumes the worst. She starts imagining things. Maybe you found someone better. Maybe you never cared as much as she thought. Maybe she was wrong about you. And those maybes are more powerful than anything you could ever say. This is why you don't break. This is why you don't send that "I miss you" text. Every time you resist the urge to react, you reclaim another piece of your power. Because the moment you stay silent, you become a mystery. And mystery? That creates attraction. You are not predictable. You are not desperate. You are not weak. You are the ghost she never expected to haunt her. If you're done explaining yourself, if you're ready to master the power of silence, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. Number 5. The Phoenix Strategy: rebuild, rise, and make her regret. This is where legends are made. This is where the pain stops controlling you, where the past stops holding you down. This is where you stop thinking about her and start focusing on you. She walked away? Good. That was the spark. Now you rise. Not to win her back, not to prove a point, but because this pain just revealed something powerful. You were never meant to stay the same. Most men stay stuck. They drown in the grief, reliving a moment that's already gone. They waste months, sometimes years, chasing shadows of a love that no longer exists. But the men who become untouchable, they use heartbreak. They let it fuel them. They take the fire that was meant to destroy them and turn it into something unstoppable. Every single day they level up, physically, mentally, financially. They become a version of themselves that their old self wouldn't even recognize. So, hit the gym. Upgrade your mind, build your empire. Every hour spent thinking about her is an hour wasted. An hour that could have been spent forging a life so great, so undeniable, that one day you'll look back and laugh. Because here's the truth. The best revenge is never revenge. The best revenge is transformation. And when she sees it, when she stumbles across you months from now, looking better, moving stronger, living in ways she never expected, that's when she feels it. The regret, the doubt, the cold realization that the man she left no longer exists. Nope, that man is gone. You burned the old version of yourself to the ground, and from the ashes, you rise. Number 6. The unshaken mindset: why indifference is your greatest strength. She expects you to care. She expects you to still be watching, still be hoping, still be waiting for a chance to prove your worth. She expects to see you lurking in her stories, reacting to her posts, searching for signs that there's still a way back in. That's what most men do. That's what she's prepared for. But when you show nothing, no reaction, no emotion, no interest, that's when the shift happens. Because nothing is more powerful than indifference. Indifference means you've already won. It means you no longer need her. And a man who needs nothing, he attracts everything. This is the paradox of power. When you stop chasing something, it starts chasing you. Attraction isn't built on words. It's built on energy, and when your energy screams, "I do not care," she feels it, and it eats away at her, because women expect to be desired, they expect to be missed, they expect to hold power over you. But when you move like she never existed, when you don't watch her stories, don't acknowledge her presence, don't react to her breadcrumbs, she feels invisible. And the moment she feels invisible to you, that's the moment she starts craving your validation. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about getting her back. This is about you, about stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need to explain, doesn't need closure, doesn't need to prove a damn thing, because the man who is truly indifferent holds all the power. You're not ignoring her to manipulate. You're ignoring her because you've outgrown her. She thought she was irreplaceable, but when she sees you move like she never mattered, she realizes she was wrong. And by then, it's too late. Number 7. The inevitable return when she feels the loss. Too late. And then it happens. A message, a reaction, a sudden like on an old post. Something small, something subtle. But make no mistake, it's a test. Because now she's starting to feel it. The emptiness, the silence, the weight of her own decision. At first, she was sure you'd be the one to break. She convinced herself that you'd be waiting, lingering in the background, hoping for another chance. She thought time would wear you down, that eventually you'd come crawling back. But instead, you vanished. You became something she didn't expect, a man who moved on, and nothing unsettles a woman more than realizing the door she walked out of might not open again. And this is where most men fail. The moment she returns, they throw it all away. They rush to respond, desperate to reattach themselves to something that once rejected them. They act like her return is some kind of reward, like she's doing them a favor. Wrong. She is not the prize. Your growth is the prize. Your transformation is the reward. So when she reaches out, you don't react. You don't celebrate. You don't shatter the frame you've built. Because the man she's reaching for now, he's not the same man she left. She expects to find the old version of you, the one who put her on a pedestal, the one who needed her validation, her attention, her approval. But that man is gone. And when she realizes that, she won't know what to do. The power is no longer in her hands, it's in yours. So ask yourself, will you fall for the same trap, or will you finally stand in your power? Number 8. The Stoic advantage, the power move that changes everything. Now, the power is in your hands. The moment she reaches out, the moment she slides back into your world, testing the waters, this is it. The moment that separates the men who rise from the men who fold. And this is where most fail. They think the goal was always to get her back, to finally hear those words. I miss you. I made a mistake. I want you again. But here's the brutal truth. If you've truly evolved, you don't even want her anymore. Not out of pride, not out of resentment, but because the man you've become would never settle for someone who walked away. She's not reaching out because she suddenly loves you. She's reaching out because she lost control over you. Because the grip she once had, the emotional leash she used to pull you in, is gone. And now, you are an enigma. She doesn't understand you anymore, and that burns her. She thought she knew you, thought you'd break, thought you'd be waiting in the shadows, hoping for her return. But now, she's the one feeling uncertain. Listen carefully. This is the moment that defines you. If you let her back in too easily, if you reward her for leaving, you undo everything you've built. The highest power move is not revenge, not games, not proving a point. The highest power move is choosing yourself so completely that she becomes irrelevant. You are not an option. You are not a second choice. You are the lesson she had to learn the hard way. This is the moment where you walk away first. No anger, no bitterness, no need to explain. Just silence, and the realization that you have outgrown her. Number 9. The final transformation, becoming the man she can't break. This is it, the final step, the moment of realization. You were never losing her. She was losing you. Because the truth is, she didn't walk away from you. She walked away from the old version of you, the man who put her first, the man who craved her validation, the man who didn't yet understand his own worth. But that man is gone, burned away in the fire of transformation. And what remains? An untouchable man, a man who does not chase, who does not beg, who does not break. A man so rooted in his own power that nothing, not rejection, not heartbreak, not even her, can shake him. This was never about getting her back. This was never about proving anything to her. This was about proving everything to yourself. That you are whole on your own. That you are strong, disciplined, and in control. That no one, not her, not anyone, gets to decide your worth. And now, she's just a fragment of the past, a lesson, a memory. Because the moment you let go, truly let go, is the moment you become free. No, you are not broken. No, you are not bitter. You are untouchable. This is how you win. Not through revenge, not through mind games, not through proving a point. You win by becoming so unshakable, so focused, so powerful that nothing from your past can touch you. This journey, it was never about her. It was about you. About stepping into the kind of man who commands respect, who radiates strength, who never waits for someone who walked away. Because in the end, the man who holds all the power is the man who needs nothing from anyone. Not her, not validation, not approval, just himself. If this message hit you where it needed to, if you're ready to become a man who can never be broken, then hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a final comment below. I am the prize. I am the power. Stay strong, stay stoic, and never forget who you are. And just like that, you've changed. Not because of her, not because of the past, but because you finally chose yourself. This journey was never about getting her back. It was about becoming a man who never needs to look back. A man who is whole, focused, and unshakable.